Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Finest Asset. This is Battlefield 1. Nivelle Nights is here, and not only with it, of course, the new Nivelle Nights map, but also a couple of additional changes that will affect all players in Battlefield 1. In today's video, of course, we'll be covering those changes and talking about the new map Nivelle Nights. However, not in too much detail, as it takes a little bit of time, a couple of weeks, a good number of games to actually get a full overview of how a map functions, what its strengths and weaknesses are, and really what you should be ideally using in most scenarios. With that said, however, let's cover the map nevertheless briefly. It's generally a quite welcome addition. It's free content, frankly. However, sadly, it's free content for those who have already paid for all content and not for those who are most in need of additional content. What I mean by this is, of course, because this is a map added to the They Shall Not Pass DLC, it is only, of course, available to premium pass holders or individuals who bought the They Shall Not Pass DLC. And as such, base game players don't have access to it, and likely finding servers other than Conquest servers playing the map very soon is going to be quite difficult. Another thing I'd like to note about this map is, unlike the trench nature design of it would maybe point out, it's not really a close quarter focused map comparable, for example, to Fort Vaux. Really, it is actually a quite balanced map with areas and parts and pathing dedicated to close quarter, more medium range, or even some long range play in there. It is, however, of course, the medium and close quarter that is most prevalent on the map, and as such, the assault class, the support class, and the medic class are likely your ideal choices. However, you can, and quite successfully, also use the scout recon class on this map and snipe a couple of bad boys out. However, I would personally recommend using one of the three other classes. I tried the map out with a bit of MP18, some Barstorm, some 835 marksman, a little bit of Automatico as well. It all really works as long as you conform the pathing, which areas of the map you choose to go and how you choose to move on this very large map to the weapon and the infantry class you are playing. You should really be just fine. The last thing I'd actually like to note about this map, and sadly this is negative, is that it suffers once more quite severely from the Battlefield 1 zerging mentality. Now, this isn't as bad on all maps in Battlefield 1. Certain maps are better, certain maps are worse. However, in my experience, up until this point, the few games I have played now in the full build of Nivelle Nights, available of course to everybody in the public service, is that zerging is an issue, comparable actually at a level to that of Fort Vaux, to the point where I decided to stop going and trying to save objectives in most scenarios on my own or with just one or two teammates, because I knew if there was an enemy presence on that objective, they would be minimum 10-15 man strong, and as such I was just going to get myself killed without really aiding my team in any meaningful way. I'm not really sure how DICE is going to ever address the zerging problem, or if they even intend to do so. It is, however, a problem, and this map once more suffers from it quite severely. We move on then from Nivelle Nights to changes brought to everybody in the game. First and foremost, a change in the interface department. We now have the best squad, not necessarily award, but depiction at the end of the round. So in a Conquest game, at the end of the round, the squad which gets the most points will be displayed. And this is actually not that difficult to achieve. For a matter of fact, I managed to get it with a squad of randoms, none of which were performing extremely well in the overall score table. They were all average players, they were doing all right, but because we had some squad orders going and people more generally were following the squad orders and playing as team, there was a bit of medic play going on as well, we managed to become best squad of our team, of our game, and I thought that was at least a nice addition, albeit I'm not sure it was worth the time it took to implement, given how many more severe issues we still have in the game so many months after it has launched. Regarding mechanics, there's 2 points to note here. Kill trades have been disabled within 20 meters instead of previously being disabled up to 10 meters. What it means is that the close quarter kill trades are now less prevalent, of course, because you have up until 20 meters where you won't kill trade. However, from that point onwards, kill trades are still possible. I think this is a rather fair trade-off between, realism and the fairness regarding I shot my bullet, I should get the kill, bullets don't vanish in thin air, and constant annoying kill trades in close quarter because of the high fire rates of weapons and just the way close quarter combat works. That's at least my personal opinion. Feel free to leave down below in the comments what you think of kill trades and the current way it's now built and balanced in the latest update of Battlefield 1. The other change we have is to ammo pouches. You can now resupply and decrease the time it takes for the resupply to happen with ammo pouches, not only support crates. It functions actually in a relatively similar manner. However, you have to be very close to the ammo pouch, almost on top of it, for it to activate, unlike the support crate, which gives you a little bit more leeway regarding kind of how far you can be away from it. Furthermore, obviously, if you actually step on it and you're missing any kind of ammunition, then it will simply use up the ammo pouch and not really regenerate regenerate your grenades. So you're going to want to have to spam these things out like crazy if you want to use them to resupply grenades. I think it's a fair balance. It really means that the support crate is better for kind of resupplying explosives, anything that has a longer countdown on resupplying. However, the ammo pouches have the advantage of being able to supply ammunition, especially for the primary and secondary weaponry, on the go and much easier, with of course the ability and added advantage of being able to toss it to your teammates instead of just plomping it down on the ground. So good move there on DICE. Once more, however, only really a small addition, a small change, a small fix, if you so will. Regarding bug fixes, there is numerous and small map changes. The only one I think is worth highlighting here that's going to somewhat improve gameplay significantly is the fact that when you repair a tank now from a support player's wrench, you will actually repair parts as well without actually physically repairing the actual parts. So if you repair a tank as support player from the external with a wrench all the way up to 100%, its weapons that were previously possibly disabled because of damage will no longer be disabled. Whereas previously, if you wanted to fix disabled weapons from the outside, you'd actually have to get your support wrench on that individual compartment, or the driver, even if you were at 100% with the vehicle, would actually have to go through an internal repair cycle to fix things. Quite a nuisance if you ask me. Good thing DICE fixed it. And then ironically, in pretty much the most pathetic update to the RSP, the rent-a-server program we've had in a long time, DICE has decided to add a setting for RSP to allow for unlimited magazines. That's it. That's all we got in this update for RSP. We're over 7 months in and we still can't control basic things on our servers, still can't set class limits or individual weapon bans. It's a little bit sad and a little bit of a troll, if you ask me, the way they decided to actually add that one feature to RSP just so they could, I guess, tick the box on we are still developing RSP and did actually improve it in one way or another. I'm not sure how many people were interested in adding a setting or making unlimited magazines available for their individual servers. However, if that was you and you were the one person that DICE were thinking of when they implemented that change, let me know down below in the comments, as well as your general thoughts to, of course, this video and the changes brought in by the Nivelle Knights patch for Battlefield 1. If you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. But with all that being said, I'd like to thank you very much for watching and hope to see you in the next Battlefield 1 video.